Peep, it's cold in here. Can you start a fire? Oh. What are you doing in the bed? Good morning. A few weeks ago, we made a video about when I was stranded out here and I had to be rescued by a helicopter. We had a few comments about it, asking if I changed anything in my backpack, how I set my backpack up, the way I prepare coming out of the cabin or going on some short wilderness trips. And I thought I'm going to take the opportunity with that while I'm out here at the cabin and show you guys how I set up my backpack now. First important things are headlamps. So I got to see what I'm doing. So I have all kinds of different headlamps here. This one's battery operated. This one is a rechargeable one. This one's a rechargeable one, and then I have another one with batteries. And I always bring at least brand new batteries in the headlamp, and then at least one extra set. So in case the batteries go down, I got a backup. So that is, in my opinion, one of the very, very first important things I'm going to bring along with my backpack. So that gives me light. Second thing is I need to stay warm. What I always bring is fire starter now, so I keep everything in a Ziploc bag. I got a little bit of a bark piece, which I can set pretty much down on anything to keep my fire starter dry and above the snow, above any kind of damp ground surface, etc. And with it, I keep little fire starters, several of them. I got a few regular lighters, like hand or thumb flick lighters. I got a pack of waterproof matches, so at least that will give me a start to make starting a fire a lot easier than just not having anything. And I keep it in the Ziploc bag nice and tight. I open it up so I can bring it out and show you guys the matches. And this is the bark, and these ones here you can pretty much get on any or in any outdoor stores, like little fire starters. I got these flick lights, and like I said, I keep it in my Ziploc bag now. Keep any kind of moisture out of it. And when I first start and I put this stuff out, it's not going to end up in the snow or in the wet. So keep that always nice and dry. That'll give me light. I got a fire started. To feed the fire, I have a little handsaw, and it really depends on how I'm traveling and where I'm going. So if I'm going hiking and don't have any like snow machine or four-wheeler or anything, then I bring pretty much everything I bring along has to be nice and light. So this one here doesn't weigh too much. It works pretty well. It's not the greatest saw if you plan on staying longer, but for an emergency, this works pretty well. And then as my fire is going, I got light, I got warmth, I have enough food with me. So I have a jet boil. Pretty simple thing. I think everybody knows how they work. You mount the burner underneath onto the bottle. That's the fuel bottle. You light it up. You pour water into it, and then it goes really, really fast. It boils within couple minutes, I think. And then you can use some of these mountain meals, I call them. Just open the package, open the zipper inside, pour the water into it, close it, shake it up a little bit, wait for a few minutes, and you got a meal ready for you. So And this is pretty much just for an emergency. I mean, if I go on a nice hiking trip, I'll bring some extra food, but this is just to bring along in case I have an emergency. The next step would be setting up a little shelter. So to set up the shelter, I have a tarp, a small tarp, for just to stay out of the elements. If it rains, snows, or something, you can kind of pull it over, work with a bunch of sticks and twigs and everything, create a shelter. So this is a good wind barrier and also a good way of staying dry. And then I get a little axe here I'm using for cutting off some branches, twigs, all kinds of stuff. That is usually a good thing to have. And then a big spool of twine so I can attach my branches to some support members. I'm going to show this all later when we go outside and create our camp. So twine works really good, and it's quite a bit of it. And then we're getting into the inside of my shelter. So I have a foam pad, super light, that goes on the very bottom. And then I have a sleeping pad, also super light. It inflates itself. And then once you're done, you just open the little valve and press all the air out of it, roll it up, and it goes back onto the backpack. Also, if there is a situation where I have a bunch of snow, I bring the super light shovel, so it's a little easier to clean the area where you want to sleep or set up your shelter. If I'm going to stay the night, obviously I'm going to have a nice and warm sleeping bag. This one here goes down to, I'm going to say, about 10 degrees. Not super warm, but it'll get you through the night. And then it gets down to the very essentials, like some medicine, what everybody uses, ibuprofen or stuff like that. Band-aids. If you cut yourself, you can patch yourself together again. There's a bunch of tape in there. So it's basically a very standard survival kit. That's all this is here. And another good thing in the survival kit is a flare. Got the world famous compass, the one I got angry with the other day and threw it away. Well, this is the one, the new one. So I think it is a good thing to have because you want to know, so to speak, where you're at. Then we have the TP, toilet paper. I always like to have a toothbrush, half a toothbrush, and some toothpaste because I can't stand having dirty teeth. So then I do bring usually a half gallon of water. Again, it depends on how I travel. If I'm hiking, it stays half a gallon. If I go with a snow machine or four-wheeler, I usually have at least 1 gallon, so I don't have to find the perfect water source or have to start boiling water because it also burns a lot of the fuel. That'll take care of my thirst, and I have enough to make a nice meal. So I think we got pretty much everything what I have in this backpack all the time. So no matter if I go flying, if I go hiking, camping or anything, these things always come along. So anyway, I have one more big thing I forgot, and that is a road flare. So they are really good to start a fire as well. I don't think I forgot anything. Of course, my backpack, everything goes in here. So it's a pretty nice backpack. Also nice and light, comfortable to carry. So I'm gonna go ahead now and push everything into this backpack, make sure we have everything, and then we'll go outside and hike into the woods where we're gonna stay tonight. Well, I did forget something to mention, and that is a bear spray. So I usually carry 2 bottles, and I have a handgun with me all the time. Especially this time of year, it's getting warmer during the day. Snow is melting, the bears are waking up, they're coming out, checking out what's around, and if they see a snack wandering through the woods, they most likely are after me. And these ones work pretty well. I tried it once on a bear and it did work. trying to find a spot where it's a little wind protected, so in a little bit of a bowl, and a few trees around so I can get a shelter built. And at the same time, I'm trying to find a place where there's a little bit of firewood around. So I'm kind of planning ahead right now. It's still light, of course, and I want to get everything done and taken care of before it gets dark. So I got a little bit of time. It's actually really warm. The snow is super soft, so I'm sinking in quite a bit, which doesn't help. But at the same time, it's nice being in some warmer temperatures. So let's keep going and see if we can find something. Okay, I think we found the perfect spot right here. Let's check it out. I think right here, there's a tree, a spruce tree, has a little bit of a curve to it. So maybe that's something we can create our shelter with. Yeah, I think this is good. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of firewood around. There's a couple trees right here we can use for fire. And it looks like the wind is coming from the northwest. So this way. Okay, I'm gonna clean this all out right here. Shovel it all the way down so we have some nice ground, and then we'll set everything up. It's not super deep here because it was all protected by the trees. I think that's a good start. The wind's definitely coming this way, so I'm going to put this tarp from this tree here over to the birch, across this pine. That should protect this whole area right here from the wind. That'll do for now. I brought pull start fire so we can use that, or we can go the old-fashioned way, not use any of that, just the kindling right here we created, and see if we can get it going with the old-fashioned way. And there we go. We got a fire.
Smells good. It's got noodles in it. Noodles are always good. Well, we can take a minute here and talk about the setup. I mean, there's never the perfect because the weather's always different. Earlier we had wind, now there's no wind. Sometimes you think it's clear sky, all of a sudden you get rain. Two things I realized already by setting up this camp. This plastic tarp right here is not usually what I carry. I have an actual tarp, and you have the little holes all the way around the perimeter. It makes it a lot easier just to feed a rope through or a cable or whatever you have available and tie to trees. If it was going to snow or anything tonight, that would be not a good setup because I have nothing above me except the trees. So I would have done it different, like what I said originally, put like some sort of a beam from this tree to this one, link it all the way around and put the tarp on top. However, I knew it's not gonna snow or rain tonight, but it was windy, so I created a barrier, which actually works really nice. And then the second thing is, it is a lot of work with that little saw. You can cut a lot of little sticks, no problem, but when it comes to bigger logs, which you want to have available at night, it is handy having a bigger saw. These two items, they need to go into my backpack. But besides that, I think everything's so far pretty good. I'm glad I have this little foam pad. It keeps you off the ground nice and dry, and it doesn't get cold. Sure that fire's good. Save these two pieces for in the morning. Oh, finally. It's actually really comfy, it's nice and warm. I'm glad I shoveled all the way down to the ground, so I'm not sitting on snow. And then with the foam pad and the air mattress right here, or air pad, makes it really comfy. I'm laying super nice and straight, level. It's nice and warm here, wind protected. I think I'm gonna sleep good tonight. We'll see you in the morning. And we're gonna start a new day. Good night.
Whew. Good morning. It's getting cold here. I slept actually pretty good. I haven't even checked the time yet. Still pretty dark, but I think I need to get up and get this fire going. I threw a little bit of firewood on top in the middle of the night. But hey, there's my dog, Pippin. What are you doing? Where have you been? Where did you sleep? Watch out. There she is. I don't know where she went. She was probably right behind the camp or something. She's always kind of laying in the snow, but at least she's here. Good girl. Yeah, let's get the fire going, huh? Whee. All right, let's get some more branches up there. There we go. All right, let's try these two guys from last night. That's a good girl. Come here. You're a good girl. You can sit by the fire. You want to sit? Sit now. Sit now. Seems like it's getting already light.